UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. This is yet another UFO presentation. I don't think we've ever done 3 in a week, but so much is going on. So much is coming across my desk, I have to share it with you. Folks, I think you're going to find this one really interesting. I've got to keep the names and places of the people anonymous. It's on cattle mutilations. I was going to show pictures, but we decided not to because they're very disturbing. But I will be describing them so you can get a picture of what it is we're talking about. So we'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Excess belly fat has been deemed the most dangerous fat of them all as it's linked to so many health issues. The reason being excess belly fat grows deep in the abdominal cavity and puts pressure on some of the body's most vital organs. That's one of the reasons why myself, along with so many people, are beginning to turn to this amazing new substance, which is thoughtfully formulated with science-backed ingredients that promote reduced fat storage, help to speed up the breakdown of fat, support weight management, reduce cravings, and boost metabolism. Folks, the best part I love is that you can get 51% off for the rest of the month or until they sell out, whichever comes first. Get yours now by going to trimwithla.com. Once again, that's trimwithla.com. Trimwithla.com. I'm going to give this 30 days. I'll report back to you and we'll see what it does. So a lot of stuff comes across my desk. You know, we travel basically into a lot of places, a lot of conferences. We meet a lot of people. Oftentimes, I only meet them like once, and then a year goes by and they'll email me, and I'm supposed to remember who they are. I apologize in advance because there's no way I can possibly remember everybody, and I ask your forgiveness for not having a photographic memory like Derek Gilbert does. But shout out to Derek there. Derek's one of the smartest guys I've ever met, but I digress. So here's the deal. I got an email from this gentleman. He is a police captain in an undisclosed location in some state, somewhere in the United States, and I'll just leave it at that. Got to keep these guys as anonymous as possible. They could lose their job, and we don't want that. So he's in a place where cattle mutilations have taken place before. They know that. They know what it is that they're dealing with. So I'm going to read you the email, then I'll weigh in on it. Hey, LA, this is Captain C from the sheriff's office from an undisclosed location. My wife and I met you and Peggy at a conference. Thought you would find this interesting. My deputies and I worked what I think is a classic cattle mutilation case last Saturday. This calf was seen 2 days prior, and now it was found in the middle of a pasture. No blood, no tire tracks, and clean cuts on the head, etc. Was wondering if there's anything specific you would recommend I do with the scene or the carcass for follow-up. Figured you would know. We photographed details, but that's about it. Any assistance would be appreciated. Feel free to call if you want any additional information. I had a lengthy conversation with the good captain yesterday, and what's very disturbing about this, and I sent images over to Chuck Zukowski. Chuck was sort of a tentpole, was the tentpole for our cattle mutilation film. If you have not seen that, there is a warning. Viewer discretion is advised. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not something you want to show your family. It just isn't. Maybe even not your wife. You need to pray up before you watch that film. It's that intense. But what it does show, and I'll get into that in just a little bit, is that there is a connection. All of this from the whole UFO phenomenon, it's all dovetailed together. It's all sourced, in my opinion, from the dark side, from Hell's Kitchen, which is why the subtitle to that film is called The Calling Card of Darkness, because it's exactly what it is. And as I stated in the film, there's no happy ending here with the cattle mutilation film. There's no moment of release and like this, everything's okay. It's not that at all. After watching it, people have called and emailed and told me that they had trouble sleeping that night. We're not making these films to scare you. We're not making these films to you know, be sensationalistic. We are making these films to show what the enemy is doing. Once again, our mission statement: to expose the deception of the prince of the power of the air and to herald the return of the King, Jesus. Why is all this happening? Because I think the King's return is imminent. But there's something going on with the cow mutilations, and I'll get into that. So this cow, which was extremely disturbing, this was a calf. All of its flesh was completely stripped from the jaw area. Eyeball gone, right down to the bone in the jaw. No blood in the animal. I've never seen a mutilation like this. Chuck Zukowski has never seen a mutilation like this. The entire back legs and rear end of the calf were gone, went missing. They were not placed in the field. They were gone. They weren't there. And that's why we didn't show the picture. It's very, very disturbing. Chuck had never seen a mutilation like this. I have never seen anything like this or even heard about it. Something is going on. In our film, we show that, in our opinion, there is a direct connection between the bovine blood and the parts that are taken from the cow to create artificial wombs. This ties back into the abduction phenomena where women are taken, they are impregnated, and in the 3rd month of pregnancy, they are re-abducted, and that hybrid child, that modern day Nephilim, is then taken out of the womb, but it has to go into an artificial womb. And that's what the cow's blood and the material, the genetic material taken from the cow, are used for. Now that's conjecture, but I've never heard another researcher talk about that. So you heard it here first. It's all in the film. We are working on number 7 and 8 in the film series. There'll be 9 films in the series. We hope to have them all out by the end of the year. So don't forget, you can go to lamarzulli.net and avail yourself of all the films. If you just want to watch them, you can do a download by going to streaming.lamarzulli.net. Folks, thanks so much for watching. UFOs are real, are burgeoning, and not going away.